Good morning, everyone. While we're waiting for others to get in and get settled, now's a good time to grab anything you need to get comfortable. Maybe it's a glass of water or a cup of tea or coffee. Also, if you have items at home and you'd like to smudge, it's a good time to grab those items as we begin to ignite the healing within. I need a new matchbook. It's all getting all staged. Relatives, for those of you at home who don't have smudge at home, that's okay. We'll send some cleansing, healing, and positive energy your way. It's a new day. This is our chance to reset, to start again. We get to take stock of how we're feeling and how we're going to move forward on our wellness path. Aloha, kakahiaka, hello and good morning. My name is Malia and I'm a community healer at the HIR Wellness Institute. We are a nonprofit organization that focuses on the mental health and wellness of our relatives of Turtle Island, as well as other Indigenous and underserved communities, and also victims of crime. You can join us here every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., where we will always breathe, stretch, explore ways of integrating self-care and wellness into our daily lives, and we will always honor our cultural traditions, our customs, our ancestry, our strength, and our resilience. So thank you so much for joining us today, relatives. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our HIR Wellness Institute team member who is here with us. We have Odessa. She is one of our CARES counseling interns. And Odessa, like myself, is here, relatives, in this circle of care to hold space for you, to provide you with support that you may need from our different areas and backgrounds of education and the gifts that were given to us by the Creator. So please, relatives, feel free always to comment, to ask questions, to share your own personal insight or cultural wisdom. We can talk about it, and we're here for you. I want to say good morning to Judy. Hi, Judy. Good morning. How are you? And we also have our occupational therapist here with us as well, Claudia Myers-Smith. And for relatives, if I haven't said your name, I know you're out there. I just don't see everyone's names pop up. Thank you so much for being with us. Let's start this morning with a check-in, like we always do. How are you doing today? How are you? I hope you're having a good day. Maybe you're not, and that's okay too, and we can talk about it. So feel free to comment in the comment section, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's all right. But let's take a moment for yourself, or we can just scan the body, recognize where we're at. So with a body scan, what you can do, there really are no rules, but a guideline that you can do if you're unsure is you can start by just getting comfortable. You can close your eyes if you want to, but you don't have to. And we're just going to take a scan from the head to the toes. Starting at the top of our head, we can work our way to our forehead, our temples, and our jawline. Paying attention to see if there's any areas where you might be feeling tension or discomfort. We can scan down to our neck and shoulders. You're feeling tight anywhere. Maybe you're even feeling physical pain. We'll go ahead and scan past the heart and the chest and down to the tummy. Perhaps your tummy feels good and balanced. Maybe you might be feeling some indigestion. Maybe your tummy is a little sore. And we're going to move down to our hips and our lower back, our legs and our knees, our calves, our ankles, heels, arches of our feet, the ball of our foot and our toes. Then we'll work our way back up to our arms, our forearms, our wrists, our hands and fingertips, and then our back. Let's take a moment to go ahead and scan our heart. Does your heart feel heavy? Or does it feel light and free? Are there feelings or emotions that are sitting with you? And finally, a scan of our head, of our thoughts. I always ask myself, is there feelings or thoughts that I had circulating in my mind before I went to bed last night? Or is my mind ready and clear for the day? Claudia says, I'm doing okay. Hoping today will feel less chaotic than yesterday. Me too, Claudia. You know, one of those days yesterday, do you ever have one of those days, relatives, where like you have so much to do and you might be so busy all day and you're just going from one thing to the next and doing a lot of things. But when it comes down to what you actually accomplished, it's like I always have a checklist and I was checking nothing off my list yesterday. And that was just the story of my day. I also was tongue-tied a lot yesterday. Things weren't coming out the way I wanted them to. I was sort of stuttering a lot and I thought, man, it's just one of those days. I'm just not on point yesterday. And thanks for sharing, Claudia. Indigo says good morning to everybody. Odessa says I am doing well. Slept like a rock. I am noticing I am feeling anxious for this Friday. I am receiving my second dose of the COVID vaccination. I heard and have seen friends have a bad reaction to the second dose, and I'm worried that I will also have a bad reaction. Trying to not spend too much time worrying about it, but have noticed myself thinking about it often. Trying to be mindful of my mind, grateful for the space. My body feels a little tense, so I'm looking forward to some morning stretches. Good morning, Roberta. Um, Odessa, thinking about you. Hope it goes well. I'm glad you got some good sleep. Roberta, how are you doing? If you care to check in, let us know. Gwen, good morning. How are you? Feel free to check in. And any of our relatives out there, if I didn't say your name, know that this is a safe place for you. This is a place where we can hold space for you, provide you with emotional support. There's no judgment here. There's no preaching to you. There's no right or wrong. This is just for you to have that opportunity. If you have something that you need, that if you want to express or that needs to come out, this is a good place for you. Also, too, for our relatives out there, and I mention this every time that we meet, if you're not doing okay, it is okay not to be okay. We all have those days, and that's just part of being a human being. We have our ups and downs. Things, we're just not doing too good. And if you're not, just know that you're not alone. Do reach out to someone that you can talk to, that you trust. Maybe it's a family member, a friend, or even a coworker. But if you also feel like you would rather just speak to someone else, maybe someone who's removed from your personal situation, or you just feel comfortable talking to someone who isn't in your social circle or in your family, do know that you can also call our Cares Warm line. It is open every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and you can call or text it. And within 24 hours, you'll get a return call. you'll be connected to one of our Cares Warm counselors who can listen to you with respect and dignity, without judgment, without stigma. They can hold space for you and you can talk about what's on your mind. That might be, you're feeling nervous or anxious, or maybe you're sad, or maybe you're mad, or maybe you're upset, or maybe you just don't even know exactly, like you can't pinpoint your feelings, but you know that you need to talk about it. That's what our Cares Warm line is for. It can provide you with that emotional support, but also too, if you're feeling like you need additional resources in advocacy or safety planning or seeking shelter or any of these things, do feel free to call our Cares Warm line and we will find resources that we can connect you to. Sorry, my cat's biting me, so good morning to my kitten. Purdy, say hello to your relatives. She's like, no, I'm gonna bite you. This is Purdy. She's part of my good medicine every day, even when she's crawling on my kitchen table and biting me and attacking me like a naughty. She's only like, I think, September. She's 4 months old now. She was the runt of the litter, and she's just my joy. So she's getting bigger now, actually. I remember when she was tiny and she just fit in the palm of my hand. But now she's a vicious little gremlin. um, okay, let's go to the comments. I just want to check in with everyone. Indigo says, I'm sleepy. Very cold nights usually means sleepless nights because the heat comes on a lot from downstairs. But every time it does, it kicks off my hot flashes. But looking forward to some things today, so in a positive frame of mind for myself. A little worried about family. My oldest niece's household mostly came down with COVID. They are not having a bad case so far, but it's early on, so a little concerned. Thanks for sharing, Indigo. Hoping the best for your family. And those hot flashes, man. Nieves, good morning. She says, I am feeling anxious for my daughter. She is trying to get out of an abusive relationship. I am praying for her to have strength. If your daughter needs to talk to someone, please do have her call the Institute. She can call the main line or the Cares Warm line. Um, just know, please let her know, direct her to our website or these videos, and we can provide her with emotional support and some of the resources that may be helpful to her. And to our relatives out there on this subject of domestic violence or abuse. Many of our team members are survivors at the Institute. And I want you to know that the Institute is not here to judge you, is not here to force you to make any decision. Those decisions are for you to make, relatives. They are not decisions that any of us are here to make or that we will make for you. However, I do want you to know that if you or anybody that you love is in one of these situations, that we do have resources for them. We can provide them with emotional support and a listening ear. We can help survivors and people in these situations with things that can help them to cope with those daily stressors of being in that type of situation. Deep breathing, positive affirmations, focusing on self-love, just having somebody listen without having to worry about the repercussions of what that might mean for them. Survivors and loved ones of survivors know that you're not alone. And again, many of us at the Institute have personal experience with these situations. And there's things that you can do, even if you just want to talk about it, even just talking about it. Or watching any of our videos. I know everyone sees me here on these videos weekday mornings at 8 a.m., but do know that I'm not the only program. I'm not the only person who is here to help you. There's lots of Facebook Live videos. Jamie Kellycutt does some. Our social work interns do. Our occupational therapists. So just know, if you are curious to see how the Institute can help you, call the main line or call the Cares Warm line. So Niamh's sending you and your daughter a lot of love. Yep, and praying for hers. That can be powerful too. Roberta asks, what is a check-in? That's a really good question, Roberta. A check-in is when we're here, and anytime in these videos, relatives, you can check in right now. You don't. We usually do it at the beginning of the videos, just to, if anyone has anything on their mind or thoughts that they want to address, they can. But you can check in even towards the end of the videos and any time in between. But what a check-in is just taking stock of how you're feeling. That's why we'll do a body scan, because we'll see, is there any parts of your body? Our body is often a good indicator of what we might need to pay attention to. You know, if your shoulders are feeling really tense or you're feeling pain there, you might be really stressed out. Sometimes if your tummy hurts or your heart hurts, there may be feelings that are unaddressed that you might want to spend a little bit more time to reflect on. So a check-in really just is hey, how are you feeling? Is there anything that, based on how you're feeling, that you might need? And based on what we feel or what we might need or what we want, then we can decide what actions it is, if any, that we're going to take in our day for our wellness path, for our self-care, for our mental health, for our happiness, or just to feel that somebody is out there, not only yourself to just pay attention to what it is you need, but others out there as we are practicing community activated medicine who can hold space for you. And that's what a check-in is, relative. So anytime that I check in, remember, if you're having a good day, awesome. If you're having a horrible day, all right, we can talk about it. So thank you for asking, Roberta. The way that Odessa puts it is, a check-in is taking some time to reflect on your body and mind to share how you're feeling. And plain and simple, that truly is just what it is. Thank you, Odessa. Remember, the Cares Warm line is posted right here in the comment sections with the hours and the phone number. Odessa also says, Indigo, thank you for your share. Glad to hear you are having a positive frame. Sending your family some healing thoughts and energy. Roberta says, never invite ugly into your mind, heart, and words. It is only an invitation to disaster of inner peace and happiness. Thank you, Roberta, for sharing your thoughts on this. My thoughts on this are, and these are just my personal thoughts, we don't, if we are having a day that, if you're feeling crappy or if you're feeling down, or you might be sort of in that like negative mindset where you're having feelings that and thoughts that aren't serving you, that, hey, I'm not good enough. Hey, I don't deserve this. Hey, I'm not being seen. Hey, any of those types of thoughts, do know that it's, you don't have to suppress those feelings. If you're genuinely feeling those feelings, allow yourself to feel them. Don't be like, just swallowing it and swallowing it and swallowing it. What you can do if you have those types of feelings, like, for example, like, oh, I messed up at work today, I must not be very smart. If you have like any type of feeling, I'm using that as an example, pay attention and say, you know what, be honest, authentic with your feelings. This is how I feel. I feel like I'm not smart enough and I messed up at work. And that doesn't mean it's true, but it allows you a moment to sit with that and say, hey, you know what? Why might I be feeling these feelings? What is the reason for this? What can I do about it? And you can decide too, if you have a feeling, or let's say even someone projects something onto you. They say something to you that is hurtful in some way, or maybe it's not true, or maybe they're just projecting their own trauma and their own pain. And you can take a moment before you let it sink in and decide, hey, you know what? This is something that's being, given to me. Someone's trying to give me their pain or their abuse or whatever. And you can take that moment and just say, pay attention to it. What does it feel like? What is being said? And then decide, is this true? And then reject it. You can say, you can literally allow yourself to release it. You can do it with deep breathing. You can literally say out loud if you want to, no, this is not true. This is not for me. These are not my feelings. These are not my emotions. I don't need to own this. This is not mine. You could literally talk to the feelings or emotion, the feelings that being projected at you, like, and quite literally tell it to leave. Like, you need to go. These feelings of inadequacy, these feelings that are being projected towards me, these are not mine to have. You could also do just about anything in your self-care practices. We call that your medicine kit, from deep breathing to gratitude to positive self-talk to connecting to nature to going to our plant relatives, maybe drinking some good tea or, you know, exercise, whatever it is that you need relatives, you can decide. Judy says, good morning. Good morning, Judy. Roberta, you're welcome. And I always share. Thank you so much for your insight. Relatives, just know, like, there's no right or wrong here. This is just us processing. We're just figuring out what we need and what we don't. And I'm not here to tell you what you do and don't need. That's for you to decide. I can always give you some thoughts or guidelines or things that I've learned, but ultimately you are the master of your wellness journey, and no one else is. Not me, not Odessa or Claudia here. It's your choice. It is you, and just know, trust that in yourself and be okay. Um, Odessa says, Nieves, thanks for your share. I'm hoping your daughter has a lot of support, and she is always welcome to call our warm line if need be. I am hoping you can support yourself through this anxiety, and I'm glad that you are here this morning. Odessa also says, thank you, Roberta, for your words and insight. And good morning to Judy. Nieves says, thank you. And Odessa says to her, thank you for allowing yourself to be vulnerable and to share with us. All of this is healing for everyone. Thank you for being in this space. And also to relatives, I don't want to pressure you to share anything you don't want to share. This is also not what I'm trying to do. But what we can do is when we have a relative who wants to speak about something, or they feel like they have something on their heart and they are allowing themselves that vulnerable space to share, that can be really a healing release, and for our relatives to know that they're not alone. But what it can also do for our relatives who are observing these shares, is to realize that vulnerability can be healing, and to allow yourself to be vulnerable can be helpful for you. So yeah, I remember prior to being on my own healing journey and really seriously focusing on my healing, what I would do is I would actually swallow my pain. I wouldn't talk about it. I was one of those people who was like, every day you would see me and you would think I would be the happiest, most problem-free person in the world, that nothing bothered me and life was always great. But what I was doing to myself when I was having these issues is I was just continually telling myself that my problems didn't matter, that I didn't matter, my mental health didn't matter, my what I needed didn't matter, and I was just suppressing. Like, oh yeah, you know what, you're fine. No, it's no big deal. Oh, that person hurt you, no problem. It must be your fault. And just those kinds of feelings, as you continue to swallow and suppress, is giving yourself that idea that you need to put yourself last. And you don't have to do that, relatives, because not only is it damaging to you and your well-being, but others around you as well. You know, if you're not allowing yourself to heal how you need to heal, or allowing yourself to give yourself what you need, then that suppression ends up becoming exhaustion. That suppression ends up being that you allow yourself the not to be seen, or that you're putting yourself last, and you you aren't last. In order to be healthy, in order to help others, in order to be there fully for others, we do need to recognize what's going on inside us and what we need. Just my opinion, relatives. But I hope that you take some time to reflect on what it is that you really do need. What is it that you need? And I'll ask you now, you can comment in the comment section if you want to, but you don't have to. What is it that you need, relatives? What is it that you need right now? What is it that you need in your day to feel supported, to feel seen, to feel loved, to feel joy, to feel peace? Is there anything that surfaces in your thoughts or in your heart that tells you, you know what, I need this right now? Be it a glass of water, or be it, um, a hug from someone in your household, or whatever it is. Be it that you need to call, or that you want to, you don't need to, but let's say you want to call a counselor or a therapist or whatever you need. There's no need too big or too small. But whatever you feel authentically in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit, that's going to help you to be living in a way that serves you, that serves your highest self. Odessa says when it comes to those negative thoughts, words, and feelings, it may not be helpful and may have us feel poorly. But like Malia said, this is the thought and feeling trying to tell us. Taking pause and being curious about this. Why did I tell myself that? Why did I have that thought? What is my core trying to tell me? Then, how can I support myself? If you're having some negative energy towards yourself, maybe supporting yourself is giving yourself some self-compassion. Positive self-talk, relative. So, thank you, Odessa. You know what? I talk about this from time to time on these videos. I saw a doctor do a presentation on some research about positive self-talk, and we actually say about 12 to 1500 negative things to ourselves every single day. In a month, that's about 40,000 negative things we say to ourselves. And in a year, that's about 500,000 negative things that we say to ourselves that talk in our minds. Now imagine if we said 500,000 negative things to somebody about them in a year. What would that do to the person that you love or care for? What would that do to their spirit? What would that do to their confidence and self-esteem? What would it do to their self-worth? What might it even do to them physically, mentally, or emotionally? And so I know that one of our grandfather teachings is really to be humble. But when we practice self-love and we say loving things to ourselves, I think of another grandfather teaching, and that's love. Self-love is really important. Now I'm thinking, dare I say my age, but I'll say it. If I'm saying 40 years of one almost a 500,000 things every year, then giving ourselves some self-love, saying something that that's positive towards ourselves, that is radical compassion. That is radical self-love, and it is so much needed for everybody, but also for our relatives out there who maybe you grew up not hearing kind words. Maybe you're in a relationship where kind words aren't spoken very often, if at all. Or maybe that relationship is towards yourself and you're not saying kind words. Are you one of those people who can't accept a compliment? So with that being said, relatives, I encourage you, if you want to, let's go ahead and do an act of radical self-love. Please comment in the comment section, or at home, just tell yourself. Say it out loud, write it down, look in the mirror, journal it. What is something that you love about yourself? Unapologetically love about yourself. And use that. Put that in your medicine kit. Keep that aside for when you're feeling down and low and not good enough or whatever you're feeling. What are some of those things? What's something that you love about yourself? You know what? And it can be about your looks. Let it be about your looks. Let it be about your accomplishments. Let it be about how you help or serve others. Let it be about your gifts or your talents. Let it be about anything that you want it to be. So, okay, I'm going to do one. Something that I love about myself. I love my eyebrows. I got some good eyebrows. I love my hair today. I'm having a good hair day. There's volume going on. I love being Hawaiian. I'm proud of that. I'm proud to be Hawaiian. One of my talents. I'm a skilled musician and an artist. I love that about myself. I would never change that. It might sound uncomfortable for you relatives to give yourself that kind of love because that's not how our society has taught us. But if we are going to dismantle these damaging things that are happening to us in society, a society that tells us we're too fat, we need to put on Spanx, we're too skinny, we need to put on muscle, we're too old, we need to dye our hair, we need to hide those wrinkles, we're too young, we're not smart enough, our chest is too small, we need to put padding in it or surgery or whatever, our chest is too big, we need to minimize it, our butt's too small. It's like no matter what it is, our we're vulnerable to these things. Let's dismantle that. Let's dismantle the belief that we need to buy something or that we need something to be whole. We don't need nothing to be whole. There's nothing that money can buy that's going to give us um that's going to make us more worthy. We're born worthy. We live worthy. We walk as human beings being worthy. Um and I know it doesn't always feel that way. I'm trust me relatives, I'm not preaching because I have the same struggles in my own life. And that's why we're here together practicing community activated medicine. That means that the people are the medicine. That means we can support each other. We can give each other that love that we need. And also, if community activated medicine means that the people are the medicine, that means you are a healer too. That means you have within your own heart and mind and spirit and body the ability to do your own part of your healing. And you holding space for others, letting others know that you see them, that you hear them, not that you're there to fix it for them, because we can't fix other people, but just to let them know we're here to hold that space. That's so powerful. And at my role as a community healer, as I always say, that does not mean I'm a medicine woman. I'm not a shaman. That's not what it is. It means that I'm here to remind others as we are in this circle of care, practicing community activated medicine. You are an equal part of the circle, every one of you out there. And my job as a community healer is just to let you know that you are too, is to remind you of your power and strength as a human being, showing love, compassion, and support for not only others, but also for yourself. Okay, let's go back to the comments and then we'll go into deep breathing and stretch. I really like our deep breathing exercise. Um, this week I think it's really good. Okay. I think I read yours, Roberta. Oh, in case Roberta, I haven't read yours out loud already. Roberta says there's a bad and good in our mindsets. Listen to the good and learn from the bad. That is beautiful, Roberta. Thank you for sharing your medicine. Good medicine. Odessa says, beautifully said as well. Okay, something you love about yourselves, relatives, it's not too late. Practice some good medicine, some self-compassion, radical self-care and self-love. Let us know, what do you love about yourself? Or let yourself know. We're not the most important piece of that puzzle, but we would love to celebrate you. So feel free to comment in the comment section. Odessa says, I love my heart and my smile. I love how I can make myself laugh. Yes, Odessa, I too love your heart and smile. I did not know that you make yourself laugh, but that is good to know. Odessa says, yes, I am having a great hair day. I will agree, relatives. I woke up. I always have a brush nearby. I woke up, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I was like, oh, my hair is falling good today. All right. Indigo says, I love how I move through the world and my connection to spirit. I love how I dance. I love the effect I have on others. Beautiful Indigo, you're a beautiful spirit, and I love the effect you have on others too. It's felt and heard even here, and even though we can't see you, I can see you in the comments all the time. Thank you, Indigo. Odessa says, Malia, I noticed immediately when you made your share that it made me happy. I did not realize how much I love hearing people say things about the love they have for themselves. It is healing. This is all community activated medicine. Me hearing you love yourself. Community activated medicine, cam, cam, cam. Yes, thank you, Odessa. Relatives, if we're going to decolonize mental health, if we're going to deconstruct mental health and make it work for us, there's some changes that we can make for ourselves. And truly, like, let's normalize loving ourselves. That doesn't mean you think that you're all that and that you're untouchable and that you're better than everyone else. That's not what it means. You can love yourself and walk humbly. In fact, I think loving yourself is humble because it allows yourself that opportunity to let the ego go. The ego that's telling you that you're more than or less than anyone at any time. It's understanding that we are all connected, and self love is very important for that connection. The reason I say that, do you ever have those feelings of insecurity or not being enough, and it can almost mentally or emotionally peg you up against somebody else? Because maybe you're feeling less than them or more than them? But what if we understood that what the Creator gave us, our gifts, our talents, our uniqueness, was here for us and for others to create the wholeness in our community? So instead of seeing like, oh, this person's thinner than me, or this person has more money than me, or whatever you do or don't have compared to another person, if we can just see each other eye to eye for the uniqueness that we are and say, you know what? This person has those abilities, those skills, that medicine. That person, that person is not me, but that person creates the wholeness of the community. That person is beautiful in their own right. And that does not negate or lessen who I am or what I am. As a matter of fact, the difference of that person is what makes me so unique and so beautiful. Not just beautiful here, but beautiful here, beautiful here, beautiful here. So, relatives, and invite, keep giving yourself some self-love in the comments. Let's be positive and let's talk about what's amazing about you. We will honor you. Niev says, I am a loving and giving person. Yes, you are. Absolutely. Roberta says, I love my hair, my body, and love my beadwork. Yes, Roberta, yes. I wish I could see you all. I wish I could see everyone. Um, Absolutely, Roberta. Thank you for sharing. And your beadwork, that is beautiful. That is actually culture as medicine. So I often talk about culture as medicine. Beading, our ancestral dances. I chant a lot from my native Hawaiian ancestry. Your recipes, your family recipes, your ancestral wisdom, all these things. Beautiful. Niev's Odessa says thank you. And Odessa also says thank you to Roberta for sharing. All right, relatives. So let's go into some deep breathing. We often talk about our medicine kit. And our medicine kit is the things that we have, sort of that we proverbially keep in our back pocket for when we need self-care. Um, for example, so if you are ever feeling stressed or anxious or overwhelmed, every week I teach a different breathing technique. So you can always keep those in the back pocket. And whenever you need to pull one out, because you know that you need to slow your heart rate, you need to slow your racing mind, you maybe need to stop um, like negative thoughts that are coming into your mind. You need to center yourself, you need to ground yourself, go to deep breathing. In fact, it's a very powerful tool for us in our trauma healing, in our healing in general, really anything that we need at any time. Deep breathing is always a yes. No matter what's going on, if you want to deep breathe, it's always a good thing. Another thing you might have in your toolkit is your elixir that you drink in the morning, whether it be water, coffee, tea, plant medicines, supplements, citrus water, kombucha, vitamin water, all these things. That's in your toolkit. Another thing in your toolkit is positive self-talk, gratitude, journaling, exercise, nutritious food, culture as medicine. You name it, you get to decide what you want in your toolkit. And the truth is, your toolkit is infinitely large. That's the beauty of it being a proverbial statement. You have unlimited things in that toolkit for you that you can use on your healing journey. It actually makes me think of Minecraft. Do you ever see your kids or grandkids or family members play Minecraft? They walk around this world that they get to choose the world, they get to make the world however they want. And in their like stash of things, they'll be carrying around like weapons and food and rocks and all these things. And it's like, how are you carrying all that stuff? But that is the beauty of our medicine kit. Is it expands exponentially. You always have that with you. You always take that with you wherever you go. Roberta says each and every one of us are here for a reason. Creator gave us all a gift. Beautiful, Roberta. So true. So true. Odessa says wonderfully said. All right, so deep breathing, relatives. You can sit, lay, or recline however you like. The breathing technique this week is called 4, 7, 8. We're going to breathe in through the nose for 4. We're going to hold the breath for 7. And then we're going to exhale for 8. Okay? Now you can sit, lay, or recline however you want. I'm just going to put my hands gently in my lap. I'm sitting at my dining table. You can close your eyes if you want to, but you don't have to. And we're going to go ahead and breathe as we breathe in for 4 through the nose. Hold the breath. Exhale for 8. Repeat, breathing in for 4. Hold the breath for 7. Exhale for 8. One more, in for 4. Hold the breath for 7. Breathe out for 8. Continue to breathe as we stretch. We're going to roll those shoulders. We hold lots of tension and anxiety here. Let's release it. These are just guidelines. You can stretch however you want. If you want to stand up and touch your toes or stretch parts of your body where you can feel that discomfort or tension, go for it. Take a deep inhale. Extend one arm out to the side, rolling the wrist. Stretching the shoulder and upper back. Other side, inhale. Exhale. Rolling the wrist. Let's take a deep inhale. Bringing that arm out in front, gently pushing down on the fingertips, the opposite hand. Or if you don't like this stretches the forearm and wrist, you could just stretch your wrists here or choose another stretch. Deep inhale, clasping the finger palms out and up. Gently bending from side to center. You might hear a little crackle here or something. It's just your body releasing what it needs to. As long as it feels okay, it's okay. Stretching the tricep. And let's look from side to center. Side to center. And double tap the ear towards the shoulder. While we're stretching, relatives, what's something else you love about yourself? What else do you love? You know what I love about myself? I'm one of the kindest people I know. I'm really giving. Not too giving, but pretty giving. Let's stretch our neck, looking down and up. So, relatives, if you're looking for one of the self care actions that you can take today, compliment yourself. That's my suggestion for today if you want it. Take it or leave it. Okay, before we go, I do want to chant for you. I'm not going to share the lunar phase we're in today. I kind of went deep into other stuff, so we'll do that next time. But I want to do a chant for you. Culture is medicine. The chant that I want to do two chants. One is Oli Aloha. So Oli Aloha means the chant of love. So I'm going to send to you love and goodness. This is in the way so that you can maybe leave with the feelings of, let it linger on your mind that self-love is something that you can do today. Just be kind to yourself, compliment yourself, say what you need to say. Maybe it's been a while since you've been kind to yourself. So I'm going to say, at last, with the fragrance of pandanus and lehua, you have come. I can smell those fragrances in the breeze as my special guests have arrived. There's the sacred lehua is here with us, which is a flower that's sacred to the Hawaiian people, particularly in hula. And I feel this also on the breeze and the mist. Um, At last, we are here together at one. This is a really rough translation. And I'm sending you my love, sending you my love, sending you so much love. And I'm going to follow that with a second chant. And it's called Eala E. And Eala E, E Kalai Kaikina, the sun rises in the east. From the ocean, the deepest oceans, to the heavens, the highest heavens. Arise, awaken, here is the sunrise. And this is a beautiful chant for you, just as a reminder that today is a new day. This is your opportunity to start again. Whatever it is that you need for the day, however it is you're feeling for the day, honor it and move forward however you feel that you need to. Ona ona I tahala me ka lehua. He halele hua o ka uno ia e ano i nei. He li ane mai hui o ka hiki mai. Ka hiki mai no ko. Ka hiki puno me ke aloha. Aloha e aloha e. E ala e kalahe ka ikina I ka moana hohunu pi ka leva nu e kalahe ka ikina aya I kala e ala e. I want to say mahalo nui loa to all of you out there, relatives. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and being a very special and important part of practicing community activated medicine. We are the people, we are the medicine, we are the healers for ourselves, and we can also help others on their healing journey. Malama ponoi kokino. Take good, righteous care of your body, your mind, your heart, and your spirit. Aloha nui. Huge love to you all out there, relatives. Remember, self-love, it's not about an ego. It's being humble. It's recognizing the gifts, embracing what the Creator gave us. Before we go, there is a community survey linked to this video. Please do take a moment to complete the survey. It's completely anonymous. It asks just a few questions, but this is how we're able to always keep our services free for you relatives. Not any services that you will ever receive through the HIR Wellness Institute will cost you a penny. And we will never, ever ask for an insurance card. It does not matter to us if you have one or not. So please take that survey, relatives. Ahui ho'aku no. We'll see you later. Have a beautiful winter storm blizzard day if you're here in Wisconsin or the Midwest. Be safe. Much peace and love to you. And ahui ho. See you later. Aloha.